Hey everyone, Leo with Dreaming Tree, and welcome to the Joy Nativity card assembly video. Now I have all of my pieces cut out, as should you. We're going to jump right in here. The great thing, well, for one, it's Christmas in July, and every year we do one bundle in July, and typically we do cards because, hey, why not get a jump start on your card making while, well, maybe you're sitting inside because it's really hot, trying to beat the heat, at least for a little bit. But this one is going to be very simple. Obviously, this one has a beautiful little religious element and sentiment. And I've got the main card base here. Now, quick reminder, we do include solid scoreline versions of all of our projects, at least within the last 5 years or so. I always like to use the solid scoreline versions for cards and envelopes because obviously they look a lot cleaner. Okay, so the card's going to open up like this. The circle is not centered, it's a little bit justified to the top. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to put this piece down. Now don't mind the little bit of glue I had on there. I just realized that I don't need to put that piece down yet because if we do, things are not going to match up. So let's start with the main part of the card here, and let's get this, or the main part of the face of the card, and let's get that down in place. Go easy on the glue here, we don't need a lot. And the idea here is just to make sure that we get this nice and centered on the card and around the little circle as well. Okay, there we go. And there are actually little markers here on the bottom left and bottom left and bottom right corners so that we can, in fact, get it perfectly centered. Okay, so use those to your advantage. They will help tremendously. There we go, just like that. And looks like I've got that lined up nicely. So now when we take this, because there are already little scallops cut out, we want to make sure that we get those aligned with the existing cutouts. Hence why you don't want to put this piece down first. You need to do this section first. Okay, so let me pull this up and let's get some glue on the back of this. This is a pretty little delicate piece, so you don't need a lot of glue. Just be very careful. And I'm just doing little tiny little circles on each of these little scallops here, and I think that should probably hold it in place just fine. It's probably more than you'll ever need, but just for good measure, we'll make sure that. Okay, so you do want to match the scallops up with the existing scallops on the cutout that is already in place, like so. And then the inner ring on the piece that I'm actually putting down is the same size as the cutout for the center. Okay, so that should be nice and flush on the inside, and that's perfect. That's exactly how we need it. Okay, next, you can take and put our little J in place. So as you can see here, the O is there, and it will also reveal our beautiful little nativity scene. Make sure you get a little bit of glue on top of that J. Hit that with your finger ever so slightly if you got a lot of glue on there. And then do your best to just get this nice and centered within the cutout here. Just like that. Perfect. And this is a nice foil here. It's not the mirror foil that we sometimes use. It has a little bit of a texture to it, and I kind of actually like that more so than the mirror foil. Mirror foil tends to get a little blemished, and it's okay though. In certain places, certain features, it works great, and you could still use it on this if you want. But if you can get yourself a little bit of a textured foil for this, I think it'll look a little more classy. Okay, and we're gonna do the same thing with the Y. Just make sure you get that nice and centered, like so. There we go, beautiful. Okay, so that's that. That's the front of the card. So again, the great thing about this, especially this card here, is that it's gonna go together very quick. Not a lot going on here. Okay, so now we're gonna assemble this little banner. I did, by the way, ink the side of this, or the sides of this, and I just hit this little area here and here with a little bit of turquoise since I used, this is AC powder is the color. Okay, we're gonna take this piece a little bit of glue on it. And this is to give the banner a little two-toned effect. Okay, and this is going to go right on here like so. Just match that up with the center and the sides of the banner like that. And then we're going to take this and glue it on top here so it almost kind of looks like it's folded, like folded over. And going to accomplish that by using the two different colors that we used. We used the AC powder, and then the other one is, what is that color? It's AC sapphire, and you'll find all that on your supply list if you want to make it exactly how we've made it. Okay, so there we go. Banner is done. Now, I'm actually not going to glue this down because we're going to use some foam squares to actually pop dot this out. We do have some markers here on the front to help you with the placement so that the placement is spot on, but that is going to be beautiful. And you see how simple that was. Okay, so next, let's go ahead and put together the main element here. It's just 3 pieces, okay? And this is going to go on, what we're going to do is glue this one onto the blue first, like so. Okay, so let's flip this over. I did hit the perimeter of this, just the perimeter only, with a little bit of turquoise ink, just to give it a little bit of extra interest. Okay, going around the perimeter first, and then just tiny little hits of glue on Jesus and Mary and Joseph. Go easy on the glue here, you don't need a lot. And I have a cat visitor right now who's coming in from the rain. I left the door open today because it just feels nice in here, so, and you can hear him. Hey buddy, hi. Do you want to come see, you want to come say hi? Come on. Come here, baby. Come on. Come say hello. Just don't ruin my project. Oh, oh, oh. Fail. Come here, babe. I wonder if I captured that. Come here, baby. You got it. Come on. You can jump this high. There you go. This is the one and only Pumpkin. Hi. Say hello. Say hello to all our friends. Yeah. What are you doing? Who's my baby? Hi, sweet boy. Hi, sweetie pie. Hi, sweetie pie. I'm making a card. Yeah, but you can't mess with me right now. I know. There's a mouse in here. You better go find him. Better go find the mouse. Go. Go on. So that's Pumpkin. You guys know about Pumpkin, I think. Okay, so let me get my wet cat hands dried off. Now we're going to take this and we're going to put this on here. It's going to be just a tiny little bit of that gold is going to be showing around the perimeter of this item or this element. So go easy on the glue here. Don't need a ton. And again, do your best to, you got to match up the scallops so that they match up with the element here and kind of nudge it around. You might need to rotate it slightly just to make sure that you get that nice and centered, nice even border all the way around. And there we go. Beautiful. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to take, and you'll see on this piece here that we have a series of markers to help you with the placement of this to make sure that it's nice and centered. Okay, and one of the scallops is going to be right in the middle, obviously, because this needs to be level. Okay, so we just want to make sure that we match that up. And we're putting this on first so that when we glue this entire element in place, we have a few moments, if necessary, to nudge it around to make sure that it's centered in the window that shows through the front. Okay, so again, make sure that one of the scallops is nice and at the top as well as the bottom. Use those little markers. The markers kind of fit into these little valleys between each of the scallops. I want to make sure that I have that straight. Yeah, looks good. Okay, we'll press that down. Okay, now one thing I forgot to mention is this little piece here. I thought maybe it was just a cutout that we missed, but it looks like this, and it actually goes right in here in between the two sections of the Y. Just make sure you get that as centered as you can, and that just kind of fills in that little space right there. Okay, now also there's this little star here that we need to glue down on top of the white star on the cutout. That goes inside. Okay, so just go easy on the glue there. And can hear the thunder out there. We haven't had rain in a while, so this is very welcomed. Okay, that's just going to go right there. Just make sure you get that as centered as you can. There we go. Press that down. Beautiful. Okay. All right, so now we're going to take this and open it up. And like I mentioned, this is going to go centered in here. Okay, so what we're going to do is go ahead and glue this down into place. We're going to pop it inside. It should be pretty much an even border all the way around this element onto the little green inner part of the card base. Okay, and we'll pop it in nice and centered. We'll take a look at it from the outside once we have that in place and just take a look and see what it looks like. Pardon my head if it kind of got in the scene there for a second. Let's take a look, and that looks pretty good. I'm going to try to actually nudge this down just a tiny bit. So keep in mind, if yours is not, the OCD in me is kicking in, and I notice that this side, there's a little bit more of a border. I doubt anyone would even notice, but keep in mind that there are some variables involved in this. The main one being this solid score line here. Obviously, it's where it needs to be, but because, well, I use a Cricut Maker, it's the original, because the solid score lines aren't as precise as a blade, it's a little bit thicker, I just noticed that this card base, it did not fold perfectly. Your recipient's probably not going to notice that, and I think it's fine, but if you feel like that's happening to yours as well, I wouldn't even worry about it. It's not a big deal, okay? So now we can take our border. Oh, and by the way, you've got the entire back of the card for journaling, stamping, whatever you want as far as your message. You can even write some things in here if you want, or up here. Plenty of room for that. And then we're going to take our banner, and using some foam squares, we're going to pop dot that. You'll notice that on the front here, there's a couple little markers, and we're going to use those markers to help us ensure that this thing is nice and centered. So don't worry about any little imperfections. It's going to still look great. I think it still looks great. And we'll peel that off. You can glue this down flat if you want, and you don't want to worry about having the extra bulk, especially if you're going to be mailing it. But even if you mail it, I don't think, even if, you know, if you mail it, it's going to be fine. I would definitely make sure that you get these hand canceled at the post office. Now again, those little markers there, those markers are going to go right into this little section here where the banner goes. Well, it's just this area here, I'm pointing to it. I don't know how to explain it, but that's where that's going to go, and that is it. This is obviously a print-to-cut element. Mike is putting together, and probably already finished putting together, a handy little video to show you how that works, but that's it for the card. And of course, with every card, we have a coordinating envelope. Okay, so I've already taken and pre-folded my envelope, which you can see here, and we have this little element. It's going to go right here to give the flap a nice little two-tone effect. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to put glue on the actual flap so we know exactly where it needs to go. I'm going to work that glue all the way out to the little scallops here first. Okay, like so. And then we're going to cover, whoops, just the bottom, a little bit on the inside. And then there are some little details here where the star is going to go, so I'm just doing little dots. Try to get a few little dots on the little points on the inside as well, just so that it stays nice and in place. Okay, and we're going to take this piece, which I did also ink with some turquoise. I'm going to hold the flap like this and slide this all the way up to the fold as far as it'll go, kind of pushing down and forward. Okay, make sure it's centered, nice and centered, and then take this and press it down. Like so. Just like that. And that's perfect. Okay, just press that down a few times, make sure it's making good contact. What a pretty envelope. Okay, and then of course we have this gold element that's going to go right here in the center, like so. Okay, so let's throw a little bit of glue on that. And then if you want, you can take and add some bling to a few little spots. Oh, you know what? There's one other thing that I forgot to do. We still need to go over it. Thought we were done, but we're not. Okay, this is going to go in the center, like so. Just like that. Make sure that it's nice and straight up and down. Okay, beautiful. I'm going to add a little gold pearl here in the center. By the way, I had someone email me asking about where we source our rhinestones and pearls, and actually get them on eBay in bulk. Okay, so that looks really pretty. Move that out of the way. We're going to take these two flaps, bring them in, and throw a little bit of glue right along the inside of each of these flaps, like so. And then take this and close it up, press down right at those the spots where you have your glue. And there you have it. Okay. And what I forgot to mention here was these little circles here. Just to kind of give this a little extra touch of gold. You will have these cut out as well, and those should just fit in there like a little puzzle piece. Okay, just like that. Should be a total of 4 of those. Hopefully I didn't lose my other 2. Just throw a little bit of glue on there. You can also take and put a little bit of, or actually, I'm sorry, just a little gold pearl there on the star. And you know what I did? I dropped them because I was being careless. I think it was probably Pumpkin's fault. I'm going to blame Pumpkin for this one. Buddy, hi. Are you hanging out? He's waiting for the rain to stop so he can go back outside. Been very busy with a bunch of different non-Dreaming Tree related things this week, and he hasn't had as much time outside, so I kind of left the door open to the studio so I could watch him and give him a place to escape if he needed to while he's out there. He's a great boy. He stays around the house. He doesn't wander off. Okay, so those go there, which is really nice. Again, if you want, you can throw a little pearl right here at the center of the star. Now my pearls don't have any adhesive backing on them, so I glue everything down. And you know what, even if they do have the adhesive backing, I usually peel it off and I just glue it down myself because, well, that stuff just doesn't hold very well. Okay, there we go. And that's that. And then of course, if you'd like, you can take and add one little guy here. And I'm just putting glue exactly where I'm planning on putting the pearls. Okay, find 2 of the same size pearls. We'll drop one there, press it down. If you get a little ring of glue that goes around it, it's not the end of the world. It actually kind of adds to it when you press down. And there we go. Okay. If you need to, you can kind of give it a little nudge. And there's your beautiful card. Very quick, about 20 minutes I'd say, if you just get down to business and don't blab like I do. And I'm not going to test this right now, but you can see the dimensions are perfect for your coordinating envelope. So that's about it. Yeah, there's really not much to this, and you're gonna have a great time with this one because there are not that many colors that you have to pick either. With this one, obviously, gold is the prominent color, you know, and then you can pick a couple of different blues, a light blue and a dark blue. This blue here coordinates with this blue, so you can use the same color for that and that. Get a gold, then find a light blue, and then find a beautiful pattern that you like. This is from a DCWV stack called LeBlanc, which is pretty universal. It works for a lot of things. This pattern that's on here almost looks like a snowflake, which works perfectly. So have fun picking that out, and I think these cards are going to go together real quick, and you can easily mass produce them, which I hope you do. But if you do, we would love to see it, and so would the rest of our community. So you can go over to your Facebook and do a search for Dreaming Tree Group, where you can find myself and the, oh boy, I don't know, 35,000 plus other dreamers that post their content there. And as always, if you enjoyed this tutorial, please take a moment and hit that subscribe button. We are approaching 50,000 subscribers, as you can see here on the counter behind me. So I look forward to seeing you there as well. Don't forget to hit that bell so that you get notifications anytime we release a new product, whether it be paid or free, or if we happen to go live. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Happy Christmas in July. Merry Christmas. And as always, I look forward to crafting with you again. Hey, thanks for crafting along with me. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, check out some of our other videos, and also please consider hitting that subscribe button. And don't forget to visit our site and check out our free SVG section, where we have over 140 free SVG files complete with assembly videos. I look forward to crafting with you soon.